Hello and welcome in this class number 5 of the AG's Way. Today we're gonna talk about merge and channel merge. The merge node is one of the most used nodes in Nuke. It allows you to combine two images with an operation. In this class, I won't explain all the possible operations, but if you would like to have a good overview, you can hover the operation knob with the mouse. Personally, I mostly use only 4 of them. The first one is the over. This one is the operation by default. The second one is multiply. This one I like to use it when I have to comp an extra element over a plate that has a very strong light change, like for example a light bulb that goes on and off. The third one is the plus operation. This one I use it a lot, especially for CG compositing. The last one is the from operation. It works the same way as the minus operation. The difference is that the from operation is B minus A and the minus operation is A minus B. I prefer to use the from operation because it allows me to keep my A input on the left and I don't break my main pipe like this. The usual use of the merge node is to combine two images. In this example, I have a CG render and I extracted the diffuse pass and the specular pass. I'm gonna combine them with a plus operation. You can directly type plus and you see it's a plus merges. And there you go. I have combined the two passes to recreate the beauty. In the previous class, I was talking about the explicit and the implicit way. Here I output the diffuse and the specular in the RGBA, and when I merge them together, I merge two RGBAs into an RGBA. So this is explicit because we can clearly see what's happening, but we can do the exact same operation with just one merge node. Let me create a new plus operation. And I plug it in my pipe. Like this. To be able to see a little bit better what's gonna happen, let me just paint something over my original image. So with the roto paint, I just paint quickly something over it. Like this. So now what I want to do is the exact same operation that I've done here, but directly inside my merge node. Open the merge node, and here you see that we can select which layer we want to use as the A input. Here we want the diffuse. For the B input it's the same, so we're gonna select the specular. Now we have combined our diffuse layer, it's this one, with the specular layer, this one, with a plus operation, and we are outputting in the RGBA. Let's take a look. See, this is exactly the same as this one. But maybe we don't want to output it in the RGBA. Maybe we want to output it in another layer. If you have followed the previous classes, I'm sure you have already guessed how to do it. In the merge node, in the output, we can click here in new. And now we can specify a name for the new layer. So I'm gonna call it the beauty. And there we go. As you can see now, this weird painting is back. This is because I'm not outputting in the RGBA with the merge node anymore. The RGBA is this one again. And my beauty is now in a new layer. And if I want to see it, I have to shuffle it out. Here I have my beauty. Keep in mind that most people don't like to use this implicit way because it's not very clear. Most of them will prefer this way, the explicit one. But what is very interesting to know is that we can output inside other layers and not in the RGBA. This is a nice addition to the shuffle node, because here you can shuffle combined layer instead of just one. This is not something that you might do very often, but in some cases it can be very helpful. In this example, I would like to show you how the multiply operation can be very helpful when we have light interactions. I'm using a free video that I found on this website. Unfortunately, the quality is not the best, so it has some compression artifact, but for our little exercise, it will be acceptable. If you would like to try yourself, I leave the link in the description. Here we have a candle that is flickering with some kind of a light pattern. This would be very difficult to replicate if you try to do it manually. Let's say that I want to paint something here on the wall. I will consider the paint as if it was an extra element, so I won't plug it directly after the source material. I will instead put it on the side like this and merge it with an over operation. Like that. Now I can paint something on the wall. So I'll select color, something maybe in a bluish tone, and I will paint something like this. And I will add also with another color a little something like maybe a cross like this. Don't forget to change the lifetime and put everything in all frame. You can also leave the lifetime on only one frame and put a frame hold after the roto paint like this. As you can see here, there is absolutely no interaction with the candle. What is missing here is not only the light interaction, but it's also this texture of the wall. So let's see first how we can extract this texture and apply it to our little paint. First, we need to blur the image until this texture of the wall disappears. So we create a blur node and we connect it to our footage. Be sure that we're gonna blur the RGB channels. And now, blur the image. Like this. We're gonna correct it later. Now what we want to do is to divide the original footage, this one, by the blurred one. Create a merge node and connect the B input to the blurred version. Now, we're gonna connect the A input to the original one, this one, and change the operation to divide. This is the result. And as you can see now, we clearly see this little pattern of the wall. If we change the size of the blur, as you can see, we can make it appear more or less. The last thing that we can do is to add a saturation node and desaturate the image. Like this, we will avoid weird result. Now that we are ready, we can see that everything that is white has a value that is close to 1. So when we're gonna multiply this on our roto paint, all these values that are gonna be multiplied by 1 will stay the same, and all the others that are gonna be multiplied by a value that is below 1 are gonna become darker. You can directly create a merge with a multiply operation by typing multiply. But be careful to select the multiply merges and not the multiply math. Now plug the B pipe to our roto paint and the A pipe to our texture. And this is the result. As you can see, now we have added the texture to our paint, and we can control the amount by modifying the blur size, like this. But if we press play, we still don't have light interaction. So in this case, this is not the best solution. Let me show you another method. First, I will copy our paint and our footage, and I will merge them together again, like this. What I would like is to extract the light intensity from my footage and apply it to my paint. Like I said before, if I multiply a value of a pixel by 1, this value won't change. And if I multiply it by a value that is below 1, this pixel will be darker. So this is what I'm looking for. I would like to tell Nuke that all those areas with light has a value close to 1, and all the darker parts has a value below 1. For this, we're gonna use a grade node and pick those areas with the white point. So first create the grade node and plug it to our footage, like this. Now, we're gonna select an area that we would like to have a value close to 1, like this one. Select the white point and click here to pick a color. You can select an area. If it's flickering like this, press Ctrl Shift and Alt. Now, as you can see, we have a value that is close to 1, and this will represent our light intensity. As you can see here, we have some kind of color that are remaining, and those we don't want them. So we're gonna get rid of it with a saturation node and desaturate the image. Now we are ready to multiply this on our paint. So once again, bring a multiply merge node and plug it to our paint, like this. If we check now our final result, this is what we get. Let's compare this to our previous version. So this is our actual version, and this was the previous one. As you can see here, there is a huge difference, and already we feel here the little light interaction. So how does it look when we play? You see, now we have a full light interaction, and this is exactly what we were looking for. The cool thing with this technique is that now if I want to move this somewhere else, it's gonna update automatically. Let's take a look. Here, if I put a transform, and if I move it, as you can see, the light updates, and if I play, it's still working. This is how the multiply operation can be very handy when we need light interaction. In class number 3, I told you that you can use the merge node to pass all the layers contained in a pipe, like here, into another one, using the option also merge and clicking on all. The problem is that if you are doing it this way, you are still doing a merge operation. In this case, we are doing an over operation. So what about if we would like to transfer all the layers from one pipe to the other, but without doing any operation? If we take a look in our merge node, we see that here we are using the RGBA of the A input and the RGBA of the B input. Then we do an over operation and we get this result. So what we want is just to have the RGBA of the B input without the A input. So it's very easy then. You just here come on the A channel and put none. Now we just keep the RGBA of the B input and we are outputting it in the RGBA of the final result. And now if we are looking our layer contact sheet, you see that we still have all the layers, and this is because the also merge option is still on all. Like this, we have transferred all the layers without making any operation. Now you might wonder in which situation this could be helpful. Let me show you. For this example, I removed all the layers from my EXR file and I added 2 masks just to be a little bit clearer in my explanation. we have seen that if we want to pass alpha masks from one pipe to another one, we need to use a copy node. So, as you can see here, before the copy, I don't have the masks, and after it, the mask appeared. Now, let's say that I want to add other masks. So I will plug them here. 1, 2, and 3 other masks. In our background pipe, they don't appear, but they are here in the other pipe. So once again, if I want to have access to them here, I need to add them with the copy node. So open the copy, and here I have to add them one by one. Here, I just have the possibility of adding 4 of them. So if I want the 5th one, I have to add a new copy node. But this can be quite annoying, because every time I add a new mask here, I have to add it manually there with a copy node. It would be way easier and faster if this process happens automatically. You guessed right, this is where we're gonna use our merge node. Let me first remove those. I remove the copy node, and I remove those 3 masks. Then I use a merge node here. But as you can see, here we are doing still this operation that we don't want. So here inside my merge node, I say that the A channel is none. Now if we put our also merge option to all, we transfer our masks. Now that we are ready, let's see what happens if we add those 3 masks. This is the first one, the second one, and the third one. As you can see, every time I add a new mask, this is transferred automatically thanks to the also merge option set to all. And of course, because we are making no operation after the merge, our background is still unchanged. Now we can use all the masks that we add here in this pipe in our background pipe. If I put a grade, for example, I can tell use the mask shape 02, and I can grade here like this. Cool thing is that I can do the same in this pipe, the pipe of my ship. Let's take a look. I put a grade here, and I also tell use mask shape 02. Now I can grade. So here I'm gonna use the lift because it's outside the ship. See? Now if I pre-mold the ship here, the mask is not very visible. So let's say that I'm gonna merge my ship over my background. As you can see here, I'm grading the background and the ship separately using the same mask. Now if I want to move the mask here, it's gonna be very easy. I just have to come here, this is the mask shape 02, and I can move it. Like this, I can grade the background and the ship separately using the same mask and keeping a clean and organized comp. So we have seen some useful operation and how we can manipulate layers inside of the merge node. Now let's take a look on how the channel merge node works. It works the same way as the merge node because you are mixing 2 inputs with an operation. The difference is that instead of mixing layers like in the merge node, we are mixing single channels. Because of that, the channel merge is very useful when we want to combine different alpha masks together. Like for the merge node, I won't explain all the operation. If you would like an overview, over the mouse on the operations knob. With the channel merge, I usually use 3 operations. The first one is union. It's the default one. This one works like the over operation of the merge node. The second one is the stencil. Very useful when you want to create holdouts. The last one is multiply. I will use this one to keep intersecting parts of masks. Let's see some examples. For this example, I have created two masks, one big circle and one small. What I want to do is to remove the small circle from the big one. And for that, I'm gonna use the stencil operation. I select both masks and I create a channel merge. Now, what I'm inputting is on the A input, I have the small circle, and in the B input, I have the big one. Now, what I'm gonna tell to the channel merge is to stencil the A input from the B input. And this is the result. You can do the same thing using two different shapes in the same roto node using this. Here, if we take a look, I have the big circle and the small one. And here I have the possibility to say minus. We get the same result, but as soon as our shape starts to be a little bit more complex, it's difficult to control, and I don't recommend this method. Now let's say that we want to cut our shape here and we just want to keep this part. So first of all, we create a new shape. It's gonna be a rectangle like this. And now we're gonna use the multiply operation. Create a channel merge and connect the B pipe to our previous shape. Now, if we take a look, as you can see, we are using the union operation. So basically, it's like the over on the merge node. We are adding more and more shapes. But here what we want is to keep this part that is intersecting with our rectangle. So this is why we're gonna use the multiply operation. But let me explain quickly how does it work. If we take a look at our rectangle shape, as you can see, here our value is 1, and everything that is outside the rectangle, it's nothing, it's 0. So when we're gonna multiply, everything that's gonna be multiplied by 1 will keep the same value of the pixel, and everything that's gonna be multiplied by nothing or 0 gonna get the value of 0. So it's like if we are cutting the shape. Let's see what happened. Here I select my channel merge and I say I want to use the multiply. Now, this is exactly what happened. Here, my value of my previous shape was 1. See here? So 1 multiplied by 1, it's still 1. But everything that is outside the rectangle is gonna get multiplied by 0. And now, as you can see, the value is 0. So it gives the illusion that this has been cut, but the reality is that the pixel has now a value of 0, so you can't see it. Like in the merge node, you can input different type of channels and you can output into new one. This is especially useful when you do CG compositing and you want to combine different mats to create new ones. To illustrate what I was talking about, I have here an RGB mat coming from a CG render. For the moment, I don't have anything in the alpha. If I want to separate each part, I need to use the red channel, the green channel, and the blue channel. We are gonna use the channel merge to combine all of them together and create a full alpha. So here, I'm gonna create a first channel merge. I plug the B pipe here and the A pipe on the side like that. For now, if we check the alpha, we don't have anything yet. This is because I need to tell which channel I want to use in the A and the B inputs. I'm gonna select the red channel for the A input and the green channel as the B input, and I'm outputting everything in the alpha. So now, if I check the alpha, I have this result. To add the missing part, I'm gonna create a new channel merge. Here, as the B input, I'm gonna leave alpha, because what I have here, it's already the alpha, so the channel has something. For the A input, I will tell the channel merge to use the blue channel. Let's do it. I plug the A input, and I'm telling the channel merge to use the blue channel. And now our alpha is completed. If I want to store this full alpha into a new name, I can or create a new channel here from the output like we have already seen, or I can use a copy node and copy it somewhere else. Here I have done the exact same job but in an explicit way. As you can see, the result is exactly the same. Let me quickly show you how I did it. Using the shuffle node, you can redirect channels into others. Here, for example, I want to put the red channel in the alpha like this. Here, and remove the rest. Now, if we take a look, we have this part in the alpha. I have done the same for the others, like this. Now, because everything is already in the alpha channel, I just have to combine them using the channel merge. Now it's easy. Select two of them, create a channel merge, and again, select this one and the channel merge, and create another one, like this. And now we have recreated the full alpha. If we take a closer look, here we can see that we have a little problem. We have like a black line that is drawn around all our shapes. This is because our shapes has holdouts. If we take a look here, as you can see, I have the holdout of this shape over the other one. Here we see that we have some kind of anti-aliasing around it, and it's the same with the other shape. So when those two shapes are combined, because of this anti-aliasing, it creates this black line. In order to get rid of it, we're gonna need to use the merge node and a special operation called disjoint over. So here I have the exact same job than this one. The only difference is that I'm using a merge node instead of a channel merge. As you can see, we get the exact same result. Now I'm gonna change the operation of the merge node from over to disjoint over that you can find here. And as you can see, now the problem is fixed. If you want more information about the merge node and the operation, I recommend you to take a look at this very interesting tutorial. I'll put the link in the description. Alright, that's it for today. If there is one thing you need to remember, it would be that if you want to combine masks or alpha matte, use the channel merge. For the rest, use the regular merge. I hope that today's lesson will be useful for you. My name is Alex Gaudiano, and I'll see you in the next class. Thank you very much for watching. Just before leaving you, I would like to give you an information. This course is 100% free and I'm not paid for it. I really made it with the desire to share knowledge with you. But if you like to reward or support the job I've done, you can give me a tip by following the PayPal link in the description. Once again, thank you very much and see you soon.